Reaching the age of adolescence. Lesson preview. Adolescence and puberty. Changes at puberty. Secondary sexual characteristics. Role of hormones in initiating reproductive functions. Reproductive phase of human life. Determination of sex. Hormones other than sex hormones. Nutritional needs of an adolescent. Health awareness for an adolescent. In the previous chapter, we have studied how living organisms reproduce. You must have also learned that it is only after a certain age that human beings and most animals can reproduce. There must be a number of changes that occur around that age in body of both females and males to make them capable of reproduction. Let us study about them. Adolescence and puberty. There are various stages in the growth of human beings. They are infancy, childhood, adolescence, adulthood. Infancy, it lasts from birth to about 2 years. Childhood, it is the period of growth from 2 to 10 years. Adolescence, the period between childhood and adulthood is called adolescence. During this period of life, the body undergoes changes leading to reproductive maturity. Although growth takes place right from the day a child is born, there is a spurt of growth around the age of 10 to 11 years. The adolescence begins around the age of 10 to 11 years and lasts up to 18 or 19 years. Boys and girls passing through this age are called adolescents or teenagers. The period of adolescence usually begins a year or two earlier in girls. There is rapid growth during the adolescent period. A number of visible changes are seen in the body of both girls and boys. These changes mark the onset of puberty. At puberty, boys and girls become capable of reproduction. Changes at puberty. Increase in height. There is a growth spurt during puberty, i.e. a rapid increase in height. This occurs due to the elongation of the bones of arms and legs in both girls and boys. The following table shows the probable average rate of growth in boys and girls. Table. Age in years. Full height %. Boys. Girls. The rate of increase in height varies from adolescent to adolescent. Some may show a sudden growth spurt at puberty and then slow down, while some may grow gradually. Age in years. Boys. Girls. From the above graph it can be concluded that girls grow faster than boys during the initial period. Both girls and boys reach their maximum height at about 18 years. Height of an adolescent depends upon the height of their parents. This is because height depends primarily upon the genes inherited from the parents. Hormones and food intake during the growth period also control the height. It is therefore very important to eat the right kind of food during the growth period. Changes in body shape. In boys, the muscles develop and shoulders become broad. In girls, pelvic bones grow and hips broaden. Breasts start getting enlarged. Thus, different changes take place in boys and girls. Voice change. The voice box or larynx increases in size during puberty, resulting in change in voice. The increase in size of larynx is usually more in boys compared to girls. The enlarged box can be seen as a prominent lump in the throat, called Adam's apple. The voice box in the girls is hardly visible. Due to the increased size, boys have a deep voice whereas girls have a shrill or high-pitched voice. In adolescent period, at times, the boy's voice may crack or break, as the muscles of the voice box go out of control. But the voice becomes normal after a few days or a few weeks. This change is only temporary. Increased activity of sweat and sebaceous glands. During puberty, the secretion of sweat glands and sebaceous glands, oil glands, increases leading to increased sweating. Due to the increased activity of these glands, adolescents may get acne and pimples on their face. Development of sex organs. In boys, The male reproductive organs testes and penis develop completely. The testes start producing sperms. In girls, ovaries enlarge and release ova, eggs. The two ovaries take turn to release an ovum. The ovum is released every 28 days. This process of release of an ovum by the ovary is called ovulation. Emotional changes. Many emotional changes take place during adolescence. During this period, adolescents become more independent and self-conscious. Intellectual development takes place and they develop a great capacity to learn. They tend to spend a lot of time in thinking. Due to increase in hormonal levels, mood swings may occur. During this period, one may be attracted towards the opposite sex. At times, adolescents may feel insecure while trying to adjust to the changes in both the body and the mind. All these changes are natural and a part of growing up. Adolescents should therefore try to cope with the changes calmly and not feel insecure. Secondary sexual characteristics. The physical characteristics which help distinguish the male from the female are called secondary sexual characteristics. During puberty, hair develops under the armpits and in the pubic region or above the thighs in both boys and girls. Boys also develop facial hair, mustache and beard, and hair on the chest. These changes which occur at adolescence are controlled by hormones. Hormones are chemical substances secreted by the endocrine glands or ductless glands. 1. The testes secrete the male hormone called testosterone. This hormone helps in the development of secondary sexual characteristics in boys. 2. The ovaries secrete the female hormone estrogen which causes the enlargement of the breasts. Mammary glands or milk-secreting glands develop inside the breasts. The production of these hormones is controlled by another hormone secreted by the pituitary gland situated at the base of the brain. Role of hormones in initiating reproductive functions. The endocrine system consists of several glands. These glands are located at specific places inside our body. These glands release hormones which travel inside our body and reach a particular body part such as a cell, tissue or organ through the bloodstream. The particular body part is called the target site. The target site then responds to the hormone. Sex hormones are under the control of hormones from the pituitary gland. 1. Hormone-producing cell. Hormone is secreted in the blood. Hormone reaches the target site and acts. 2. Hormones from the pituitary stimulate the testes or ovaries to release testosterone or estrogen. Hormones reach the target site through the bloodstream. They stimulate changes in the body at onset of puberty. Reproductive phase of human life. Adolescents become capable of reproduction when their testes and ovaries begin to produce gametes. In the female, the reproductive phase begins at puberty, 10 to 12 years, and lasts till 45 to 50 years, whereas in the male, it begins at puberty, 12 to 15 years, and lasts till he is healthy. When an ovum is released from the ovary, the lining of the uterus becomes thicker to receive it. If the ovum is not fertilized, the lining of the uterus along with the ovum and the blood vessels are shed off. This is known as menstruation or period. It causes bleeding in women. Menstruation occurs once in about 28 days, and the menstrual flow lasts for 4 to 7 days. The period from one menstruation to another is called the menstrual cycle. The first occurrence of menstruation around puberty is called menarche. The stoppage of menstruation is called menopause. The menstrual cycle includes maturation of an ovum and its release from the ovary, thickening of the uterine wall, breakdown of uterine wall in case pregnancy does not take place, determination of sex. Each cell of the human body contains a nucleus. In each nucleus, there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. Whether a person is male or female is dependent on a particular pair of chromosomes. This pair of chromosomes is called the sex chromosomes. There are two types of sex chromosomes, X and Y. Every cell of a male has one X and one Y chromosome, whereas that of a female has two X chromosomes. The gamete, sperm or ovum, has only one set of chromosomes. The unfertilized ovum always has an X chromosome. The male gamete, sperm or ovum, has either an X chromosome or a Y chromosome. When a sperm with X chromosome fuses with an ovum with X chromosome during fertilization, the zygote will have two X chromosomes, 20, and the offspring will be a female. If the sperm with Y chromosome fuses with an ovum with X chromosome, the zygote will have an X and a Y chromosome, Xy, and the offspring will be a male. Thus, the sex of the child depends on the kind of sperm that fuses with the ovum. You have now seen that it is the sex chromosome of father that determines the sex of the child. Mother is in no way responsible for the sex of the child, and hence should not be blamed for the same. Sex determination in humans. Sperm Y, sperm X, 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 zygote Xy, zygote 20. Endocrine glands in the human body: pituitary gland, thyroid gland, pancreas, adrenal gland, ovary, female, testis, male. Hormones other than sex hormones. Some glands and their functions are as follows. Table. Gland. Hormone secreted. Functions. Thyroid. Thyroxine. Thyroid regulates the metabolic rate and growth, stimulates respiration. A disease called goiter, bulging in the throat, is caused if the thyroid gland does not secrete thyroxine. Pancreas. Insulin. Pancreas regulates the metabolism of sugar. Deficiency of insulin causes diabetes. Adrenal. Adrenaline. Adrenal gland helps the body to adjust to stress when one is angry, worried or embarrassed. Pituitary. Pituitary growth hormone. Pituitary gland controls the activities of the other glands. It is necessary for the normal growth of a person. Role of hormones in completing the life history of insects and frogs. Metamorphosis in insects is controlled by insect hormones. In frogs, it is controlled by thyroxine, which is produced by the thyroid gland. Iodine is required for the production of thyroxine. Hence, if iodine is not present in water in sufficient quantity, in which tadpoles are growing, they will not be able to become adults. Nutritional needs of an adolescent. An adolescent must have a balanced diet consisting of proteins, carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, and minerals in proper proportions. This is a period of rapid growth and development, hence due attention should be paid in planning a diet. The traditional Indian meal consisting of dal, roti, rice, and vegetables is a balanced diet. Growing adolescents should have a protein-rich diet as proteins act as building blocks of the body. Adolescent girls should take iron-rich food items such as leafy vegetables, jaggery, meat, citrus fruits, amla, etc. as iron is helpful to build blood. Carbohydrates and fats provide energy. Adolescents need more energy for various activities. Milk is a complete food. Fruits also provide nourishment. Consuming too much of junk food should be avoided as it is deficient in important nutrients like proteins, minerals, and vitamins. They should never replace regular meals. Health awareness for an adolescent. Health is defined as the physical, mental and social well-being of an individual. All the people must eat a balanced diet for maintaining good health. They must observe personal hygiene and must do regular physical exercise. The importance of the above factors is all the more during adolescence as the body is growing. Personal hygiene. Personal hygiene is very important during adolescence. The activity of the sweat glands increases during adolescence and hence teenagers sweat a lot, and the body may become smelly. One must therefore take a bath daily and wear clean clothes. All parts of the body must be washed and cleaned daily. Chances of getting bacterial infection are very high if cleanliness is not observed. Girls should take special care about their hygiene during their menstrual cycle. They should keep a record of their menstrual cycle and be prepared for it. Adolescents must wash their face with a mild soap to keep it clean as they are affected by acne and pimples. Physical exercise. Regular physical exercises like walking, cycling, swimming, and skipping must be done. You must play outdoor games in fresh air. Drug abuse. Drug abuse is a common problem among adolescents worldwide. Adolescents undergo a lot of physical and mental changes. At times, they feel confused and insecure due to stress. In order to get relief from this, they start taking drugs. In case someone suggests you to take drugs, just say no. Once a person takes drugs, it becomes a habit and he or she becomes a drug addict. Drugs ruin one's health, wealth, and happiness in the long run. Therefore, they must be avoided at all costs. AIDS is another dangerous disease caused by HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. It destroys the defense mechanism of the body. It is spread by sharing syringes used for injecting drugs. It can also be transmitted from an infected mother to her baby through breastfeeding. It also spreads through sexual intercourse with an infected person.